arrived in Dunleary, the port for Dublin, Ireland, under grey and rainy skies. Our guide for today is Adam Ladd from Tours by Locals. Let's hope all goes well. We boarded the first tender to shore, not knowing that only 2 tenders would make it to shore that day.
The luck of the Irish was with us. Off we go. Only 213 passengers made it off the ship.
Hello.
Get over his energy.
I tell you, this hour is morning.
It's a wonderful day. We'll be meeting Adam at the entrance of the National Gallery. After meeting Adam at the National Gallery, we crossed the street to Merrion Square Park.
Typically in their own universities, here they're doing credits for their university back home, and then in Trinity or UCD, they're often actually doing
We viewed the Oscar Wilde Memorial Sculpture commemorating the Irish poet and playwright. Adam pointed out that the sculpture cleverly depicts 2 sides of Oscar Wilde. Viewing the statue from one side, he looks somber. And then from the other side, he looks rather smug.
Merrion Square, so that's where Oscar Wilde grew up. There's actually 3 clocks on that house today, okay, so.
We circled back within Merrion Park to the National Memorial to members of the Defense Forces. This memorial depicts Army, Navy, Air Corps, and Reserve Defense Forces who have died in service of the Irish state.
Down here a little bit further, guys. The voting system, by the way, it's a proportional voting system. Typically in their own universities, here they're doing credits from their university back home, and then in Trinity or UCD, they're often actually doing like modules like Irish culture and customs. So basically, this part, like the part where we saw Oscar Wilde, they would have been
Donna connected with her Irish roots by standing for a photo op in front of Sheehan's pub.
Of course, if you only look in front of you, you're only seeing the stores, you're not seeing the actual buildings, which are beautiful.
Dublin's fair city.
We made our way to the famous statue of Molly Malone for another photo op.
There I first met sweet Molly Malone. She wheeled a wheelbarrow through streets long and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh.
But the tower you see there, that's from 1204. And it was built by King John, the guy from Robin Hood, he's a bad guy. So that means he's English, obviously.
We were determined to not let the cold rain stop us. Our next stop was the famous St. Patrick's Cathedral, founded at the end of the 12th century. Adam brought the history of the National Cathedral of Ireland to life for us. He guided us through the cathedral while telling us rich stories and highlighting some of the key events of this Irish treasure.
Except for the front flag, obviously. The front flag is like a medieval flag for Ireland in the United Kingdom. So you'll see on the Irish harp, of course, on the blue background, which is our national colour. You have the 3 lions on either quadrant. They're called Caledonia. They're not flag. It's the kind of Latin name for lions. Then beside us, of course, you also have the seat of the bishop here, which is a cathedra. Hence we get the phrase cathedra. The last songs, the Pipe Riders. So he's our first president. He's an agreed upon president. He's actually an Anglican Protestant, so this was his cathedral that we've gone to.
At this point, we were all wet and chilled. A break for lunch in a warm Irish pub sounded fantastic.
Yeah, John has one then. Is there 2 then, mate? Okay, great. Nice. Because if you pour it in one go, it would be very bubbly like a hard rock. So I was just saying, when they pour it, they pour the Guinness in 2 stages. It's obviously much nicer. Family only own about 5% of it today. I've never heard of the actor, so it's not a common name at all. I don't know anyone named Guinness.
Lunch was a treat. We enjoyed Adam's stories over a warm, hearty lunch. And of course, harp beer and Guinness in an Irish pub is always the perfect combination. After a break from the rain, we continued on to view the legendary Temple Bar.
So, the name is really confusing. So the area is called Temple Bar because the Temple family owned the land. This is built on a sandbar, so that's how you get Temple Bar. So over time, Temple's Bar, as it was called, became Temple Bar. And the Irish government put about €100 million into regeneration in the late 80s. Of an authentic experience, the Temple Bar in the area, I guess. But look, you can say you've seen it. Yes, we can stop the photograph, okay? So, keep on heading on.
Our final stop was the prestigious Trinity College, founded in 1592. The rain hadn't stopped us from enjoying a complete tour of Dublin. After bidding farewell to Adam, we found out there was no return tender service to the ship.
Serving bread and water here in confinement.
Got the place.
It was easy to see why tender service had been canceled as we bounced our way around on our return to the ship.
After a day in Dublin.
The luck of the Irish was with us on this day. We were among the lucky who made it to shore to tour Dublin.